Hello and welcome back to Speed Demon Painting. Today we are taking a look at the Falkenstein battlefleet set, which was kindly sent to me by Warcradle Studios for review. These boxes of course always come shrink wrapped, and I've gone ahead and removed that prior to the review as to not have any awkward glares, and then you can get to the inside of the box by removing the sleeve. It's been a while since we've had a release like this, but we're back to the old style of battlefleet boxes where you get one resin flagship and two sprues, which is basically the original format when the game was first released, and I'm very happy that we're back to this size of box as well. Inside the box you will find 4 bases for SRS, as this is a battle carrier, and the actual battle carrier itself, the main resin parts, can be found in a little baggie. On top of that you get 2 extra sprues, one being a frontline sprue and 1 support sprue. These are of course the latest updated versions, and you will need the decking on the support sprue to normally form the Conrad to be the decking on this Falkenstein as well. So be aware that you cannot build this Conrad class if you want to make a Falkenstein. Right, time to open the little bag, and inside we will find the main hull of the Falkenstein. It is quite a narrow ship compared to some of the other big battleships that we've seen, and this ship is of course made from a one-piece mold like the other ones, meaning there are no mold lines actually running across the hull of the ship, but you will get a bit of mold lines at the bottom of it, which are very easy to remove. All you really have to do is scrape your knife across from it and they'll be gone. This is also a hull that has the new style of layout where you have the different rivets all over the place, like the new updated plastic sprues. There is also a small second sprue with some extra bits on there. You will mostly find the smokestack and some of these small platforms that you can glue different weapons on. There are not quite enough of them for all the weapon options you can find, and one tiny little piece snagged off, but that's never a problem because you can always find it in the baggie. And this is the end cap for the decking that I mentioned earlier that needs to go onto the battleship itself. Now, the rules for this ship aren't quite out yet, but I have seen the beta version of the rules for them, and they have quite a lot of different weapon loadouts that you can take, and I'll be talking about that briefly at the end of the video as well, just so you sort of know what you're getting when you're buying this ship. This channel is all about helping new players discover the game as well, and if you want a bit of help with knowing what you can build with it and what it does, make sure that you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because we do regular gaming videos about Dystopian Wars as well. I have gone ahead and grabbed some of my other Prussian battleships and the Tempelhof carrier as well for some size comparisons, and we can see that this ship isn't quite as large and significantly less wide. It's a much sleeker design, but it is a battle carrier, so it's not quite up to the same size as a battleship. Apart from the resin chip, of course, you get the plastics, and we're looking at the support sprue first, which can build 2 destroyer ships, either the Sigimir or the Toten. The Sigimir classes come with these Volkum batteries, while the Toten come with double Sturmklau on it. They are new, so they have these rounded holes. The previous versions had these sort of square pegs on them. And there's also an option to mount a weapon now on the bridge of the actual Conrad, which will also take some of the Flak Vierlings, of which you get 4 on there, the Vierling Autokanone, and those are supposed to be glued onto this platform, the ones that you get extra of in the resin ship. That is so you can actually use it on the big Sturmbringer weapon that is on there, because that also needs to go onto that separate platform. You also get the SRS tokens that can be launched by your carrier, and apart from that, the hull is the new type, so it also comes with wooden decking in the front, which is something the old type didn't have. And speaking of wooden decking, this is the large part that will go at the back of your Falkenstein ship, and normally this makes the Conrad carrier out of the support sprue, but you will not be able to make that one if you're building the Falkenstein. Also at the very bottom here, that's where that small resin bit goes that came on that separate sprue to complete the look of that ship. Apart from that, this support sprue now comes with regular rocket batteries as well, and you need those because the Falkenstein has 2 pegs there where you can mount those regular rocket batteries in the front, so these will be trickier to magnetize because don't drill too deep on them. It is a very shallow hull after all. You will also get the new and updated frontline sprue with that one. This one can build 2 frigates, and it now comes with 4 of the heavy gun, whole volt gun batteries, I should say, on there. And I'm glad to see that they are still the angled design, because I used some of those on my Asgard support, on my Asgard ship rather, a while ago when I was doing my Scandinavians. And on top of that, you get 2 rocket batteries. Now, a bit of a spoiler alert when we're talking about the rules. I think the rocket batteries will be the way to go for this ship. You still get 2 of the weapon platforms on there, so that's great. You won't be missing out on any other builds because you have to use the plastics on your Falkenstein, and it comes with all the generators on here as well. In addition, you can now build the Bertha Bombard and the old Gustav one, the very first one, on this sprue. Although it can be taken on a Falkenstein, I will talk briefly why I do not think that is a good idea to do rules-wise. It is the new type of hull, of course, and the new plastic hulls also come with the rivets for extra detailing on top of the wooden decking I've discussed earlier as well. And these are the Arminius frigates. These don't have the new rivets, so they sort of more gel in with the old school sprue, the Gen 1 version. Overall though, I am incredibly happy with this set. I'm more of a veteran Imperium player, meaning that I have a lot of different cruisers already. So seeing a set again that has a smaller amount of sprues in there is good news for me, because well, the battle carrier is the thing I'm mostly interested in. And I also think it's a good stepping in point for an expansion for any player that started out with a 1-player starter set. Those come with 2 of each type of sprue, 2 of the front line, 2 of the support, and this complements that really well, because you actually get full squadrons if you buy this box. So it is both very good for veteran players and a great way to expand for beginning players, with that small thing in mind that you cannot build a 3rd Conrad if you build the Falkenstein out of this set. But that's a small thing though. I would not recommend building 3 Conrads anyway if you are a new player, so it's not that big of a deal. And finally, let's talk about the rules, why I also think this is a great ship to get if you're a new Imperium player. Now keep in mind though that I'm using early draft rules, the beta rules for these, to discuss this. This might be tweaked slightly when the final rules get here, but they should be here at the end of the week anyway. The Falkenstein battle carrier sure is a fast ship for a Mass 3. I mean, it can move up to 9 inches. Which is pretty good, and on top of that it comes with armor 8 and citadel 16, so it basically has the same toughness as a battleship. The reason why it's only a battle carrier though is because the main difference lies in the hull points. There's only 10 of those in the back of it. Baseline, it comes equipped with the Gustav Twin Bombard, but the best way to swap them out is actually to the loadout that is shown in the box art with the double rocket battery, if you ask me. Mostly because the 2 regular rocket batteries that it has usually do not pack enough punch on their own to do a lot of damage to most ships, so supplementing that with 2 extra heavy rocket batteries is quite useful. And if you really want the artillery piece, I suggest you build that one out of one of your frontline cruisers, because that shoots just as well as the battle carrier does, so there's no need to sacrifice any firepower when you downscale the bombards to a cruiser. On top of that, it brings great utility to your fleet, because you get SRS capacity 5 and 3, meaning that especially if you're just starting out, you didn't build any Conrads at all, this can really plug that gap because it provides that utility. There is a type of mission called missions with fog of war, and you cannot effectively shoot at your opponent unless you actually send out some scout SRS. And I think this is where that ship really shines, because with its rocket battery front and the SRS capacity in the back, combined with heavy torpedoes, which are called Speerschleuders for the Prussians, this is a ship that can really hang back and just pelt away at the opponent while still being reasonably tough, although you don't want to put it straight in the middle of the thick of it with only its 10 hull points. And there we have it, that was it for the Falkenstein review. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, remember to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for any future videos. I've got another one coming up soon for the Couron class, which was also kindly sent to me by Warcradle Studios for review, so if you're looking forward to that one, I do hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye.